So let us continue from where we left. In the previous lesson, we have studied that the relationship between the cause and the effect may not be linear and it may not be immediate. And then we ended by saying that this relationship can be endless at times, and we have to be practical to understand this relationship between the cause and the effect. What do we mean by that? Let me first narrate a fictitious story to you. The story you may or may not find interesting, but please watch it, please listen to it. It will make a lot of sense once you have heard it fully. And once we finish with that fictitious story, then I will give you a real world corporate example. All right. So let us again assume that you are the CEO of this company making the dishwashers. All right. And one fine morning, you come to the office and you fire the general manager production of your company. You just call him to your office and you fire him, that you are no more required from tomorrow. Now this general manager getting fired is the effect actually, isn't it? What is the cause for you to fire him? What is the cause? The cause was that you, as the CEO of the company, you were very angry with him and so you fired him. But then why were you angry? What was the cause for you to get angry? Because you see, the company lost a big export order and therefore you were angry. But then what was the cause for that? Why did the company lose that big export order? Because that general manager, he did not give a presentation to the foreign delegates. He was supposed to deliver a presentation about the company's product and other things. He did not do that, and therefore the company lost the big export order. But then the question is, why did he not give the presentation? What was the cause for him to not give the presentation? Because he could not reach the briefing hall in time. He could not reach there in time. The delegate went away, so he could not give the presentation. But then again, why couldn't he reach there in time? That is because his car met an accident en route, you know. But again, what was the cause? Why did the accident happen? Because he was in a hurry. Then why was he in a hurry? What was the cause? Because he was getting late. Therefore, he was in a hurry. But what was the need? Why was he getting late? That was because last night he slept very late. But why did he sleep late? Because he had a fight with his wife. Now you can go on and on. Why did he have a fight with his wife? And the origin of the cause can be traced back to the time, when the Big Bang occurred and the universe came into being. You can go on and on and on doing that. But the point is, as a leader and as a systems thinker, how far should you trace the cause before you take a decision? All right. Where should you stop and take a decision? Should you trace it till why the general manager fought with his wife or even beyond that? Obviously not. It sounds ridiculous. You will not go into those details. But were you justified in firing him just because he did not reach the office in time? Just think over. Probably not. Had you taken one more step to find out the cause, you just got angry and you fired him. But if you were cool and if you tried to find out why he could not reach the office, then you would not have fired him. You would have realized that he has met an accident. He just couldn't have reached, isn't it? So this was just a cooked up story, just to explain the spirit of the philosophy. How far a leader should go to find the cause. Now we will take a real life corporate example, a very serious example. Alright. Again, you are the CEO of the same company which is making dishwashers. Alright. And your product has been launched just a few months back. Only a few months have happened since you launched your new product. Now over 2 million pieces have been sold since the launch of the product, and your brand image is on the rise. People are talking good about your product. It is quite good looking, functions well, nicely priced, all praises for you. But then suddenly over the past 1 month, there has been a huge increase in the complaints, and all the complaints are generally of the same nature, that the machine stopped halfway and it does not start again for a few hours. While washing the dishes, the machine just stops and then it won't start again for a few hours. Now your brand name is at stake. You are worried. So what do? You constitute a high level team to investigate what is the problem, a team of highly technical people. And those people, the team finds out that after a few months of usage, the motor of that machine is getting hot. And because the motor is getting hot, the machine stops. And once the motor cools down, then the machine can be started again. It does not happen in a new product, but it happens after using it for a couple of months. All right. So you are satisfied, you take immediate decision to recall all the machines and you replace all the motors with a better version of the motor free of cost for all the past customers. And for the new product also you change the motor. Okay. So a few $1 million are spent on doing this, just gone down the drain, but you have quenched the fire. You have won the customers' faith again. The customers feel very happy that you have taken a prompt action, and that too free of cost. All is well for a few weeks, but then again the same complaints start coming in. You receive the same complaints for the replaced machines also as well as for the new product. Now you had changed the motor. Why is this complaint coming again? What do you do now? You are worried. So you constitute the same team again and ask them to investigate again. But this time you yourself are leading the investigation team as a systems thinker. You don't want to leave it to the team now. You become the head of the team as a systems thinker. So the team again comes up with the same cause. They come to you and say, boss, again the same thing is happening. The motor is getting hot. But you are a systems thinker. You won't stop at this cause. You ask them to find out why the motor is getting hot. What is the cause for the motor to get hot? And so they again proceed with their investigation and they find out that the people, the customers, are loading the utensils in the machine in a wrong manner and therefore the motor is getting hot. But you don't stop there. You ask them, why are people loading it in the wrong way? Have they not been explained the proper manner? Why are they loading it in the wrong manner? So they do the further investigation and then they find out, oh, the operating instruction manual that we have published, that has been printed wrong. Some junior person had prepared that manual and people failed to check it. So the manual instructions which have been given, they are actually the problem. That is the culprit. So what has happened? If the team had just gone 2 steps more in the previous investigation, they would have saved millions in replacing the motors and they would have saved the brand name of the company also. So just 2 steps more they had to go. They need not have gone very far as to why it was printed wrong and all those things. They need not. But as a wise leader, as a systems thinker, you have to take a decision where to stop. All right. So that is what we mean when we say that the relationship between the cause and the effect is endless. And you as a system thinker has to decide how far you should go to trace the cause of an effect. And sometimes you see, you may have to remain within the boundary of your system. Sometimes to trace the cause, you may have to even cross the boundary of your system. Got it? So I hope whatever we have discussed will make you think and it will change your perspective. It will change the way you think and look at things. More of it we shall see when we meet in the next lesson. All right.